do it to yourself, you do. That's why it hurts. You do it to yourself, just you.
Sam Geoghegan, Education Vice President, and I'm 21 years of age.
Alright, what do you feel were your biggest accomplishments during the year?
Biggest accomplishments, I think, were, well, my biggest accomplishment definitely by far was the extra study area in the student centre for semester 1 exams. They're going to be in place again in semester 2. You know, I think when you help a student who comes into you or rings you or you email them back and you know you solve their problem, they're the only person who knows you've helped them. You've only helped one person. But then you know I saw the success at the Christmas exams and with the study area, and like over 1,000 students used it, and you know it really was great. It was a great feeling that you know it was your idea. You made this happen for 1,000 students to avail the service. So that would I think was my biggest accomplishment.
Right, what do you think were your biggest failings during the year?
Biggest failings during the year. I think working as a team. I think I could have done a bit more. I think it could have been a better team player perhaps, and got involved in more union activities.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, there's nothing really in particular, but I know the National March. I'll just give an example. That whole campaign, you know, like don't get me wrong, I did do work for that, but you know, a lot of it was in the office trying to contact lecturers to get students off their classes for the Wednesday of the march. But you know, I didn't do much lecture dressing, and I definitely lecture dressed the least out of all the Sabbats. And I think it's a thing. It's, you know, I would have liked to have lecture dressed and got out and talked to students some more.
Right. How do you feel your performance this year has been perceived by the student body?
Well, I can only take it on students that I meet who come into my office or on the phone or emails, and you know, I help students. I give it my all every single time, and you know, if I help them the way that they want me to help them, great. And if it doesn't work out, I think they've realised that you know I have tried. So I can only take it from the students that I deal with on a day-to-day basis, and I hope they're happy. But that's I think the only barometer I can judge on.
Do you feel like your loss at the sabbatical elections this year for the same position is a reflection of your performance?
No, I don't.
No?
No.
Okay, would you like to elaborate on that?
I don't know. I think I lost for a variety of reasons. I think Shane ran an excellent campaign, but I don't think we didn't really start the campaign until late into the first week, and you know we were on the back foot from then, and you know that was definitely a failing of myself and the campaign team, but well, just myself really. But you know I did want to attend meetings the first week of the campaign, and you know I perhaps was a little bit too complacent during the campaign in week 1, but you know we pulled up our socks in week 2, but I think it was a little bit too late. But I don't think I lost, and I don't think I lost because people think I did a bad job.
Certainly the education office is by its nature not a very visible one to the average student, unless it's actually called upon.
Correct.
However, at the same time, you have said before that you could have worked harder to make the office more visible to students.
Mm-hmm.
There was a series of reach out campaigns that were subsequently dropped, things of that nature. Do you feel like
Not subsequently dropped, Nigel.
Okay, well, how would you describe it?
Oh, Rachel and I went to many different buildings around campus and set up stands for a couple of hours, and we got Rachel and I as welfare and education officers respectively. We're the Sabbats who deal with students on a day-to-day basis for personal cases, and we got many students come up to us and just ask the questions, and they wouldn't have even known who we were. And then you know myself and Rachel got students who would come into us then the next few days, the next few weeks. So I think they were a success. Perhaps we could have done more, but you know it is very tough. Some weeks Rachel and I are very busy to set aside 2 hours
The
or whatever.
fact remains, however, that education is still one of the least visible offices, if not
But
the least visible office.
I think that's
of
the
the
nature
SU.
of the job.
Yeah, but do you think there's more you could have done to make it more visible and make the services available more accessible to students?
Well, the services available to students are, the Grinds and the bookshop, and they are the two most used things on the website. The bookshop this year has done good business from what I've talking to previous education officers who've been in the role. I've looked at the money we've taken in and stuff, and obviously the economic circumstances were not as good as they were maybe 5 years ago. But students are using the bookshop quite a lot. The amount of checks that we have to give out for books being sold, and the amount of students that would come in asking me questions about, how do I drop in books, or where is the bookshop? So that is utilised. The Grinds file, as I said, is also the biggest thing used on the website, and there was an increase, 26% increase this year of tutors.
Right. Do you feel like you've delivered on the promises you made in your manifesto?
Not all of them, no. But I think the three things that you have three sexy ideas perhaps when you're running an election, and delivered on. I've delivered on one of them with the study area, and the other two would have been the tech system and the elective expo. And the elective expo still in dealings with registry at the moment, but I'm quietly confident that they will be in place for semester one next year. And then the tech system was told pretty much in no uncertain terms in the summer, and I think I've been on record in saying this, that it was just not feasible. But I have asked if they could look into an app alert system with more and more students using smartphones.
Right. Okay. But to go back to your manifesto, you made a great deal of promises in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, perhaps you were unaware of the realities of the office in your day-to-day working life, but that still is, and I'm quoting here, a work experience program in the UCD library, the prevention of any cuts to the library budget, a name and shame campaign in local papers to combat delays in the county council grant payments, the prevention of the introduction of third level fees, a cap on the registration fee, an automated text messaging system to warn students of cancelled lectures, perhaps the main event of your manifesto, and electives expo, a careers week in each school in UCD, as well as college and school specific career fairs, and the introduction of back to education seminars. Now, as far as I'm aware, none of those came to fruition. Is that right?
No.
Which ones came to fruition?
Okay, the back to education seminars, they haven't.
Right.
The name and shame campaign, I'm not going to run a name and shame campaign if the county councils are paying their grants on time. I don't see the point in doing that.
Right. So did county councils pay as promptly as they could have?
Not as they could have, but we sat down in the summer and we set a deadline of I believe it was the end of November, and if the county council hadn't paid by then, we would then investigate the feasibility of running an ad, and speaking with people in registry and in the grants, all the county councils have paid. So therefore we didn't run a name and shame campaign. The stopping the introduction of third level fees. Well, yes, I worked extremely hard during the national campaign, and yes, we weren't successful in reducing the.
Well, hold on. You just said a few minutes ago that you could have worked harder during the national campaign, that you could have lectured us more.
No, I know. I think I could have gone out and met students, but I think the role that I gave and the performance of my job, I think was good, because we. I'm getting students off classes so they can attend the march, so there's more and more students there.
Alright, well, even with that, that's, with that, be that as it may, it still makes up the large majority of your manifesto for this academic year. Can you honestly say that you delivered on what your manifesto promised?
Well, I've investigated everything and tried everything, and I don't think anyone can fool me on that. There are some things that will come in down the line, and I think education out of all the sabbatical positions is the hardest role to fulfill anything. And I've been on record of saying that, and that it's a long, slow process. And there's some things that come in that 3 or 4 years ago would have started, so it's a long process.
Do you have any regrets for the year?
Do I have any regrets? No, I've enjoyed the year. I don't like 100%. I've made some great friends. I've learned a lot about the job, about myself, and I wouldn't have any regrets. And I think I definitely have no regrets of running, both times.
So there's nothing you would have done differently?
Don't think so, no.
If you had to give yourself a rating out of 10 for the year, how well do you feel you've done?
What do I feel I've done? Well, like I know that I've tried. I've given it 100%, but obviously some of the results aren't there. So by that, I'd maybe give myself a 7.
Do it to yourself, you do.